All right, guys, welcome to another training. Today, we're going to talk about the scale, the dreaded scale. So, why your weight fluctuates daily and how to stop, letting it control your life. All right. So, most women will see fluctuations anywhere from 2 to 5 pounds, could be even more than that daily, just due to normal body processes. So, you're not gaining fat, you're not losing fat, you're not gaining fat. It's mostly water, food, digestion, and hormones. So, if the scale like controls your emotions, I'm hoping this will help shift your focus a little bit. So, number one reason why the scale goes up or down is water retention. All right, and I'm going to give you, I think I got like 25 different reasons why the scale can. There's a lot more, but these are primarily the ones. So, water can fluctuate dramatically depending on what you eat and how your body responds to it. So, the main causes of water retention, sodium intake is one. So, eating salty foods can make your body hold on to water, and you can gain 2 to 3 pounds overnight just from salty meals. Like we had a client who put on 4 pounds from one day to the next, and she had Chinese food the night before. So her body was just retaining water from all the sodium. So over the next few days, she got back to eating on her plan, and the weight, flushed out. So, um, as long as you're really understanding why the scale is going up and down, it's going to make your journey a lot more pleasant. All right. So carb intake. So for every gram of stored carbs, your body will retain 3 grams of water. All right. So you don't need to remember that stat. The point is carbs hold more water. So if you have extra carbs that day, you're not gaining weight, or I shouldn't say you're not gaining fat overnight. It can just be a temporary jump on the scale. All right. Hydration levels play a huge role. If you're dehydrated, your body holds on to water to compensate. Sounds kind of crazy, huh? When I was younger, studying in exercise science like 100 years ago, that one I was always like, if I drink less water, going to hold on to more water. That one was always hard for me to comprehend. But yeah, if you're dehydrated, your body's holding on to the water to compensate for the lack of water that's getting in. Exercise and muscle soreness. So after a workout, your body will retain water to repair muscles. If you're really challenging your muscles and you're pushing heavy weight for you, it's actually a good thing. All right, so don't panic. The weight will come back down, but it's just your body's way of repairing the muscles. So you want to drink more water, reduce your sodium intake, and just let your body adjust naturally. All right. Gut health or digestion and gut health, basically what's in your system. So your digestion is going to affect your weight more than you think. And some of these things we can't control. And that's the thing. Most of these things we can't control. So as long as you're doing the right things for your body and you're building the foundation for your health, the weight will come off, but it's going to be, you know, down, up, down, up. So food in your system, you weigh more simply because you have more food in your stomach. So it's in your intestines, it's in your stomach. Um, so food in your system plays a role. Fiber intake. So high fiber foods will slow digestion, which increases your weight temporarily, but it improves your gut health long term. All right. Constipation or irregularity. If you're backed up, your weight's going to reflect it. Okay. And also the same, like goes the other way. A big bathroom trip can instantly drop the scale a pound or two. All right. Gut bacteria balance. So poor gut health can lead to bloating and retention. Right? Gut health is so important, guys. So eating a balanced diet with your fiber, plenty of water, and focus on regularity, not the weight changes. Okay. So hormones and stress. So how your body reacts um, can play a role in your daily scale weight. All right, so your hormones control fluid balance, metabolism, and stress responses. So that makes them a major reason why your weight fluctuates. So key hormones that affect your weight, cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So high stress equals increased water retention. So stress also makes you crave sugar, carbs, which can further increase your weight. So stress, I mean, you've heard it a million times, is the silent killer. It also plays a massive role in weight loss, guys. We have some women that are doing everything right, but their bodies are so stressed, it's not letting go of the weight. So we gotta work on stress management. That's the key. The foods are fine, but they're not sleeping well. Their body's in a stressed state. They hate their jobs. Their relationships aren't good. So there's a lot of stress in their lives, and that's playing a role in weight loss. So sleep and recovery, just kind of touched on this. Lack of sleep will raise cortisol as well, causing you to hold on to more water weight. Menopause, perimenopause, hormonal shifts can cause bloating, especially around the midsection. Thyroid function. So a sluggish thyroid can slow your metabolism and cause some weight retention. So this section here, managing your stress, getting your 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and avoid obsessing over that scale when your hormones are shifting. And even in post menopause, this can play a role as well. All right. Um, and 7 to 9 hours of sleep is a pretty general rule. I mean, that's still all the data supports that. But if you're the type of person that sleeps 5 hours a week, I mean, 5 hours a week, 5 hours a night, and you wake up and you're not tired, then I would shoot for 5.5, 6 hours because your body's still not getting, it's still not repairing the way it needs to. You're probably not getting enough REM sleep and deep sleep, but you're not going to go from 5 to 7. So we're always just trying to make improvements. Exercise and movement. So when the scale goes up after a workout, a lot of women will panic. Scale increased after exercise. But like I said earlier, this is a good sign. So why your weight might increase after workout. So muscle repair and inflammation. Sore muscles hold on to water to heal. So when I have a very challenging workout, my weight's always up the next day. And kind of tells me I'm like, oh, I had a pretty hard workout. Well, strength training workout. All right. Sweating and rehydration. So you can lose weight just from sweating, but gain it back once you rehydrate. So, you know, weighing at the same time every day, like if I do a sauna, I've done this. I've weighed myself before the sauna. I weigh myself after the sauna. And depending how long I go and the heat that's in there, I can lose anywhere from 1 to 2 pounds. But as soon as I drink the water, it's coming back. You're not losing fat. That would be beautiful, but it doesn't work that way. Glycogen replenishment. So after a workout, your body stores energy, which means extra water, not fat. All right. So if the scale goes up after training, actually celebrate it. It means your body's repairing and it's getting stronger. Okay. Some few other factors that will impact the scale. Um, and there's like I said, there's a million of them, but alcohol. So alcohol causes dehydration, followed by water retention the next day. All right. Alcohol does all kinds of a number of things to our bodies, but it can affect the scale for sure. Medication, certain medications, some prescriptions can cause water retention. Weighing in at different times, which I just touched on. So if you weigh in the morning and you're weighing in at night, I mean, you can be 5 pounds different. So that's why, like, when you go to the doctor, you got freaking shoes on, you got pants on, you got shirts on, you've already eaten. Like that weight is so inaccurate. So just go by your scale. It's got to be accurate within itself. You know, there's no scale that's like 100% accurate, but if you're weighing in the same scale, the same time, doing the same routine, it's going to be accurate within itself. All right, so morning weight obviously is always going to be the lowest because our body is just dehydrated. We haven't eaten. Uh, Illnesses, allergies, inflammation from sickness or food sensitivities can cause temporary weight spikes. So Yeah, like I said, I tell people, and you guys are probably already doing this, but wake up, go to the bathroom, take your clothes off, get on the scale. And then it's consistent. Um, so here's some ways to kind of, stop letting the scale control you if it is. So better ways, like remember the scale is just one data point, right? One data point of many things that we look at. So I like these first two the most, like progress pictures. The mirror is going to show you more than the scale. I just one of our clients is at their goal weight and they decided they want to lose another 5 pounds. I'm not actually talking about Joy because Joy, I think she had the same thing, but this is somebody else. And, I asked her why she wanted to lose the weight. And she said, well, that's what I used to weigh. And I said, but why is that important? So I just want to be that weight. So we kept talking and talking and talking. So I sent her a bunch of pictures of different women at 150 pounds, and they all look different. And I said, well, which one do you like? And she pointed at it. And I said, well, she didn't know they're all 150 pounds. I said, they're all 150 pounds. And she's like, well, why do they look so different? It's their body composition. So I said, do you really want to weigh 145? That was her goal weight. Or do you really want to get leaner and more fit and toned and defined? And she's like, yeah, that one. And I said, so if you put on a couple pounds of muscle and lose a pound or two of fat, your body's going to look totally different, but you're still the same weight on the scale. And she's like, oh, yeah, forget it. I don't care about the 145. She goes, I want to look like that. So like it just changed her whole perspective on the scale. Body composition is the biggest thing, guys. Um, I know people that are 150, 160 pounds, women 5'4", 5'5", but they look great, because there's so much muscle on them. Their body fat's pretty low. So look at like your pictures are going to show you everything. If you look at your pictures and you're like, I'm not happy, it's probably, and you're close to your goal, you probably just need more lean muscle. Lean muscle is so hard to build, guys. Trust me, I've been trying for 5 years. I've put on like 4 or 5 pounds of muscle in like 5 years. It's like a pound a year. That's crazy. So maintaining muscle as we get older is the number one thing, but if we can add muscle, that's even better. All right. So that's going to change your body's look dramatically. And you have to lift, heavy weights for you. You can't just kind of go through the motions. You got to be that last couple reps should be like your last rep. You shouldn't be able like so if your reps are 10 to 15, if you can do more than 15 and you can blast out 25, your weight's too low. You need to increase your weight. Same thing, if you can only do 5 reps, your weight's too heavy. You need to do less weight. So your weight controls the reps. Or a lot of people I see in the gym and they're just like 15. They could do like 100 of them. They got nothing out of it. If you're gonna spend time in the gym or at home, put in, make the most of that time. So tracking, getting back on the weight thing here, got a little off track. So pictures and then tracking inches or tracking circumference measurements is huge. You can also just like you'll know if your clothes start fitting better. That matters more than your weight. If your clothes are fitting better and your weight hasn't changed, you're losing body fat. That's the key. Measure strength, energy, all these things. Do you feel stronger? Do you have more energy? Those are the things that really show progress. And most of you know this, but um, there's people watching that don't, or you need a reminder. We in our VIP program, we look at your weight over a 1 week period. So we don't watch your weight every single day. We look at it over a week and we look at the weekly trends. And that's going to be way more accurate than day to day. Day to day will drive you crazy. I mean, my scale lately, like 4 pounds throughout a week, I've been up and down. It's just crazy for me. I'm usually pretty consistent. So something's going on. I haven't been able to identify it. My sleep's been great. My stress has been great, but something's obviously going on because I've had some like real high days and my food pretty much always the same. So you just never know. I I find it fascinating trying to figure it out. But so remember, your weight, the scale, one freaking data point. Focus on consistency, not the daily numbers. All right. So your weight fluctuations going up and down, perfectly normal. All right. Like I said, most changes are from water, digestion, hormones. It's not putting on fat. You cannot put on fat in a day. It's you can't even put on fat in a week. Like it takes a lot to put on fat. If if you're doing the things like you have to really overeat. Like, so 3,500 calories is roughly a pound. Like that number's been kind of debated over the years, but just let's just use that number. So you'd have to overeat 3,500 calories in a week, which would be, what's that, 700? No, 500? So that'd be 500 calories a day for 7 days to put on a pound of fat. And even that's not super accurate, but just to kind of give you an idea. So if your goal is 1,500 calories, you have to be eating 2,000 or more every single day. So if you're consistent and you have 1 or 2 days like that, you're not going to put on body fat, right? Um, what else? That's pretty much it, guys. Weight's not the most accurate measure of success. So I would track your photos. Many of you guys don't do your photos enough. Um, every 2 weeks, typically, my coach makes me do them every week. We're not that stringent, but every other week is good, especially when you first start, because you're going to see the progress. And I think it's even really important when you're at your goal weight because your weight might not be changing, but if your body composition's changing, that's motivating. Like you'll look at your pictures, and be like, holy shit, I'm still the same weight, but look at my abs are coming in, or like my face is thinner, or I can see my definition in my triceps, or those are the things that, and I would always, I wish we had the spot in our app. We only have front, side, back, but you can take your own photos and do like a flex photo, so where you're the front and the back. Then you can like really see, do that every couple of weeks or at least once a month, a flex photo, and you can see, the changes. Like my arms are getting bigger, or whatever your goals are. I mean, if you don't want your arms to get bigger, then obviously that's not a good thing. But your abs coming in, or whatever, like I said, whatever, your shoulders are more defined, triceps are more defined, your back doesn't have that like um, the extra, fat coming over your bra strap. Like there's so many things that you can gauge progress without seeing the scale move. All right. So that's all I got. Question. 17 minutes. Whew, getting good at this. Guys have any questions? Oh, tornado, Saturday, snow, Wednesday. Our weather is bipolar.
Actually, I don't have a question, but I actually kind of like realized already because since December, the fluctuation of my weight has been so horrible that sometimes it's kind of depressing. That I really have to understand. Of course, my coach tells me, I fluctuation is this, maybe the stress, maybe the sodium. Then I kind of like started it now. I kept, on weekends, that's the time that like by Monday, fluctuate so bad. This is the thing now. Why? Because I thought that is normal for me because I don't consider that stress because that's my job. That's work for me and I love my job. A lot of times I get called for emergency situation. Then there were times that I leave my house, I don't have anything to eat. I grab my tumbler and that's all I have. That
Yeah.
weekend, I only have my tumbler. I ate my first meal at 3 p.m. Then I still had to take care of some things. Then when I got home, it's another situation with another client, another patient of mine, another emergency situation. So I thought I was going home to relax, unwind. It was another thing. I had to leave again. So I think I got home around 10 or 11 o'clock after two situations that happened. I was so tired to eat again. And so I went to bed with just one meal. And the only thing I is easy to grab is my tumbler. I go out the house and this is what I have when I get that calls. I keep drinking water because sometimes it's so I get hungry and then the only thing I have is water. So that night I was like, okay, I just gonna go to bed. I'm not gonna eat. I'm tired. Of course, I didn't lug my food because what will I lug then? Really, I only have one meal.
You just logged the meal. You only
I
log what
know,
you eat.
but this is the thing. Since it was like I was out and I didn't even know the measurement of what I ate. It was 3 p.m. So yeah, until I
You
went
just do the
home.
best you can.
Yeah, so I went home. I know I did a lot of protein. And then vegetables and I did eat healthy. but only one meal. Got home at situation again, and then I just went to sleep. So I keep studying the situation. It kept happening since December. It's really like back to back. And every time somebody says, "Are you stressed?" I would say, "No, I'm not," because it's not a personal stress. I didn't
It's still a
realize.
stress though. It's like
Yeah, it's
I used
hormone.
to I used to work for this guy at a gym years ago when I first started in this industry, and he was a real piece of work. And I loved my job, but I was still stressed,
Mm-hmm.
because he was stressful. But like getting like having a call at night when you think you're coming home to relax, that's like
Mm-hmm.
stressful. Like you don't think it's stressful because you enjoy it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's it's just not a consistent, like our body's like consistency. So eating once a day is a stress on our body.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feel like stress doesn't mean like mentally stressed all the time. Like people kind of confuse that sometimes. Stress can be like if you don't get sleep, it doesn't mean you're mentally stressed. You just your body's inflamed. It didn't get enough sleep. It didn't recover properly. It didn't repair.
Yeah.
So that's stress on our body. So when we talk stress, it's stress on your body, not just like how you feel. Does that make sense?
Yes, and of course, every time I keep listening to my coach, the videos that she sends me, and I said, "What in the world? I'm what stressed? I don't know. I'm not, guys. I'm not stressed. No, that's it. That's work." And
Yeah,
like,
you're stressed.
yeah, I'm like, oh, it was since December. It's been like that, back to
Yeah,
back, back to back. It's like almost, of course, like it happens like a lot of times, Friday, Saturday, when people want to party, when people, and then here comes the situation because they have some addiction situation. It gets, like out of control. And then they OD or whatever situation happened, and you get to the hospital, and here they call me. Then I have
right.
to take care of that. I said, "Oh, okay. I guess that's the thing. That's what they call stress. It's not a
Yeah,
personal
definitely.
stress. It's still in my body."
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
So I don't know when these situations about back to back stress in my job, that it keeps going up and down, up and down. Like, when I started, everything was smooth. I was like, since December, it's always like some chaos happening.
Yeah. So you just manage it the best you can. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
And you might want to start preparing, like instead of just grabbing your tumbler, having something else you can grab that's quick that you already like hard-boiled eggs or something that's already in your fridge. So when you get called, you gotta go grab your water, grab a couple something protein based. You can even bring like the little things of yogurt with you or something that to eat on the way or when you get there quickly. So having like a backup plan because it sounds like it's happening pretty often. Uh,
I
so
know. It wasn't like that before. It's just like, what happened to them people? I mean, like,
crazy. All
that's
right.
it.
Well,
At least I already know I mean, the trigger of the fluctuation. Before I was making it like, oh, not really, because it's not really a stress because it's not my stress. I
yeah,
mean,
it's the story you tell yourself. We all tell ourselves stories.
yeah. So no, I guess I'm going to do that now. Like I said, you know what? Every Thursday I gotta go prepare because it happens on the
Definitely.
weekend. Friday,
Yep.
Saturday, Sunday, all those days something happens. Like,
Yeah.
okay, by Thursday I'm going to cook some boiled eggs, whatever you're telling me. So I put it in the
Yeah.
refrigerator. If I get cold, I'm going to carry it with me, something
Yeah.
like
Perfect.
that. So I wasn't prepared before. I didn't know that this, going to be happening. And then the fluctuation is horrible. It's like 3 pounds up and up, and it goes away like for several days.
Yes. So don't let the scale fluctuate. You get like I like the fact that you're thinking about preparing more. That's the key. Preparation's
Yeah,
everything. If you're not
yeah.
prepared, you're gonna grab things that you don't want, or you're gonna choose not to eat, or those things. So
Like I said, Thursday I'm going to start preparing for the
perfect.
weekends.
Perfect. I like
Yep.
it. All right. Well,
Thank
I'll see you
you.
guys all next week. You're welcome. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye bye.